The return of Nathan Diaz.
Double fingers and a fully locked and Nate Diaz by submission. He knew he had. Outstanding performance by young Nate Diaz. For the winner, by unanimous decision, Nate Diaz.
It all began with the post-victory speech that Nate Diaz delivered after his win against Anthony Pettis at UFC 241.
And what is it like to be back and get a nice victory like that over Anthony Pettis?
It's Nick Diaz Army. It feels good to be back. Jorge Masvidal had a good last fight. All respect to the man. But there ain't no gangsters in this game anymore. There ain't nobody who does it right but me and him. So I know my man's a gangster, but he ain't no West Coast gangster. You know what I'm saying?
We're fighting for the baddest motherfucker in the game belt, and that's mine.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Diaz told Joe Rogan in his post-fight Octagon interview. It was at this point that a crazy idea popped into White's head. I said to my guys, listen, tell me if I'm crazy, but what if we think about actually having a baddest motherfucker in the game belt? And my guys loved it.
I told my guys, listen, I know this is crazy, but just throwing this out there, what do you think? And they loved it, and so did everybody else. So
the big fight for the BMF title featured Diaz and Jorge Masvidal at UFC 244 in New York City. It was held at the famous arena of Madison Square Garden. The star of every eye, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, came out with the new championship belt before the fight started. During the fight, Diaz and Masvidal pushed their limits, with plenty of action and excitement. Masvidal, who had recently won fights against Darren Till and Ben Askren, came out strong. He landed some hard hits on Diaz, including a heavy head kick. But Diaz, known for being a tough opponent, didn't back down. He kept talking trash and putting pressure on Masvidal. Even though Masvidal seemed to be winning after the third round, Diaz started to fight back well. However, the first fight was cut short when Diaz got a bad cut above his eye. The doctor had to stop the fight for safety reasons. Despite the sudden ending, Masvidal ended his amazing 2019 by being crowned the BMF champion. After 4 years, the rematch between Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje seemed like the perfect occasion for bringing the BMF title to the show again. Their first fight in 2018 was amazing and marked a big moment for Poirier's career. What made this rematch even more exciting was that both fighters had done really well since their first bout. They each had 6 wins and even held the interim lightweight title at one point. They also had similar losses to tough opponents like Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Watch his left arm, John. There's a tap. There's a second tap.
And Charles Oliveira. The rematch took place as the main event of UFC 291 in Salt Lake City and was expected to be highly intense. In the second round, Gaethje surprised everyone by landing a strong head kick that sent Poirier to the ground, almost marking an end to the thrilling confrontation. With his trademark backflip celebration, Gaethje seized victory and was ceremoniously crowned the BMF title by none other than Masvidal himself, symbolizing a thrilling passing of the BMF torch. It seemed like the BMF title would be a one-time thing, but after the success of the initial matches, Dana White might have reconsidered its future. Many felt UFC 300 lacked something special, and that something was Gaethje and Max Holloway. When Dana announced their fight, it generated more excitement than the main event itself.
Two of the most durable fighters in the sport, two of the most aggressive guys in the sport. Gaethje destroys all guys with leg kicks and power in both hands. Max is regarded by many to be the best boxer in the UFC and has made many top 10 guys look like they don't even belong there with him. Two of the all-time greats in their division, and this fight will be 5 rounds for the BMF titles.
Given the opportunity and name both fighters carry in combat sports. This Sunday at UFC 300, on a scintillating and jaw-dropping wild night, Max Holloway made history with a sensational knockout. In the final moments of the fight, Holloway landed a massive punch on Justin Gaethje, knocking him out cold with just 1 second left in round 5. The fight for the BMF title was part of the main card at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The first round saw both fighters being cautious, but Holloway's patience and precise strikes caught everyone's attention. Gaethje also showed off his boxing skills, making it an intense battle. Holloway made his mark at the end of round 1 with a powerful jumping kick that left Gaethje with a nasty cut on his nose. Things got worse for Gaethje in round 2 when he was poked in the eye twice by Holloway, though no points were deducted. As the fight progressed, Holloway's speed and striking ability became more evident, while Gaethje was struggling to keep up. In round 4, Gaethje managed to knock Holloway down, but it wasn't enough to stop Holloway's momentum. In the final round, Holloway delivered a lightning-fast combination that stunned Gaethje. With just seconds left, Holloway unleashed a huge overhand right, knocking Gaethje out cold and crowning himself with the baddest motherfucker title. This victory extended Holloway's winning streak to 3 fights, including wins over tough opponents like Arnold Allen and Chan Sung Jung, while Gaethje's 2-fight winning streak came to an end. Despite winning against Gaethje, Max Holloway is still hungry and looking for another contender, mentioning 2 other fighters he wants to take on, Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev.
All I gotta say, I'm him. I'm him, guys. Guys, there's an El Matador. He is running away from Abu at 145. Tell him sign the gun contract. Spain, Hawaii, wherever. Or even Islam. Islam is famous for defending against 45ers, right? I'm him. I'm right here.
Ilia Topuria is the current UFC featherweight champion, and Islam Makhachev holds the lightweight title. Even though Max used to be a featherweight champion himself, he tried moving up to lightweight division for a fight against Dustin Poirier in 2019, but didn't win. This fight against Gaethje was his first time fighting at 155 pounds since then. And guess what? Topuria was looking from the crowd when Max knocked out Gaethje. After the fight, Makhachev also showed respect and congratulated Max for his performance. Now, even though Max is moving up in weight, he still wants to challenge Topuria. His manager even said Max is eager to fight him and believes he can win. But Topuria is no easy opponent. He's won 15 fights in a row, including 7 of his UFC matches. Now there's a big question floating around. Should Max Holloway defend his BMF title or go after Ilia Topuria's featherweight championship? It's a tough call. On one hand, defending the BMF title would solidify Max's status as a top fighter in his weight class. On the other hand, challenging Topuria for the featherweight title could lead to a chance at becoming a 2-division champion, which is a major accomplishment in the UFC. Ultimately, it's up to Max and his team to decide which path to take. But either way, fans are eagerly anticipating his next move. Topuria seems reluctant to give Max a shot at the title, but now that Max has won his latest fight and the BMF belt, Topuria might have to reconsider.